Alright, this morning I'm going to talk to you about how we get to a finished wood engraving state, which is this. First we're going to start with a blank piece of wood, which is this, which isn't really wood. It's called resin grave. It's wood with a thin resin epoxy material on top that feels like a hardwood, end grain hardwood when you carve into it. I'll talk about end grain in a minute. Basically, to get to this point, you have to carve into here. Anything that you carve out, which is the negative, won't print like a lot of engraving processes. And then anything that's left, you ink and it prints. Here's an example of, this is the block, this is the actual block that I use to print this, and of course it prints in verso, so it would be bonk, like that. And there we go. There's our block. There's our final print. These are some of the tools that you'll use. The ends of the tools look like this. You'll be holding them this way. They rest in your palm, and you'll move ever so softly and slowly across the surface of your block. One other thing that we use is, this is the first, so this is the plein air painting. This is the observation I did. Or a sketch, you could use that too. Any sort of expressive way that you want to start to capture the composition and look of your image. But eventually it has to boil down and be translated into individual lines. So the only way to make a tonal quality shift in wood engraving is by how close the lines are together and how thin or thick the lines are. So remember, as you're working on your composition, what you want to get to is an idea that your lines are creating the tonal qualities. In a little bit, I'll show you a little bit about inking up the block and getting ready to carve.